Brother Robertson, as you may remember, I am the student who decided to change her project, but without consulting you when I had decided. And I apologize for doing that if I haven't apologized before. Initially, I began with the intent to get certified in MCSA web app development, but I had my doubts after talking to a friend who runs a certification program. I do wish I had ignored my doubts, but here I am nonetheless. I ended up proposing something that's perhaps unconventional, which was to prepare for the Java SE8 Programmer 1 certification and or build an app. I definitely prepared for the exam as best as I could, and I used a lot of resources, some of which I didn't list because I didn't find them to be very useful. After preparations, I took the exam but didn't pass. Nevertheless, it was a really good experience for me. And during my preparations, I also attempted to build an app. I decided to try to build an app that would add, delete, or update members for a local railroad engineers union because I thought it might be helpful for them. A number of the members find the app or site they have to be very confusing. So I thought if I created something simple to maintain their membership records, the leaders may be more open to making their site or app more user friendly. Now, I did build it, but it doesn't function as it should. The user is supposed to be able to click on the add button, be taken to the add member form, and enter the member's first and last names, email address, cell phone number, and home phone number. And then the user is supposed to be able to click the save button on the form, which would then save the information and sends it to the database. On the add form, the user is supposed to be able to click the return to list link to return to the previous page and see that the member has been added. Um, on the member form, the user is also supposed to be able to update a member's information or delete the member entirely if the member is no longer part of the local union. When the user clicks the update button, he or she is supposed to take or be taken to the update form where he or she can enter first name, last name, email address, cell phone, and or home phone number. The user can then update all the information or only the fields that need to be updated. There's a save button which saves the button and sends the information to the database. And there's also supposed to be a return to list link that the user can click to return to the member form where he or she can see that the information has been updated. On the member form, there's a delete button. When it's clicked, the member is asked to confirm the deletion. He or she can choose yes to confirm deletion or cancel to forego the deletion. If yes is selected, the member is deleted immediately and the form is updated at the same time. When deletion occurs, the information is then supposed to be sent to the database so that the member is deleted from the database as well. So, as you can see here, I set up the code in as a Java class. It's the member Java class, so that the app knows to take in the first name, last name, email, cell phone, and home phone as well. I have other classes here. There's a member controller that has the methods. There's also MemberDB, which is the member database that's supposed to update, get information from the database. And there's the servlet page as well that's supposed to link, or it's the servlet page for the HTTP URL connection. It sends and makes requests. Now I have the add member form, and that's the Java Server Faces page where the member is asked to enter information. You have a member list that's supposed to list the members that are currently in the database. And then there's also update member form where the member will be taken to the member form. So all that code is in there, but it doesn't work because when I run it, this is what shows up. Fortunately, my Tomcat works, but let me go back and delete this instance that I had run. And then I'll run this again so that you can see that my attempt didn't work, or my attempt didn't work this time. So this should come up in just a few seconds. And I just wanted to show you that it didn't work, even though I've already said that it does. And there's no information here because I didn't add any information to the database. I wanted to, or I didn't put any initial information in the database. So there's no initial data to start with. And I was just going to click on this right here. That's supposed to be my add member button. And then my other links didn't show up here for some reason. So I'll have to revisit that. So there's nothing there, and it doesn't work the way that I had intended. But I will end up going back and revisiting this to eventually get it to work, even though this cost will be over. I wanted to talk about what I had actually experienced and learned during this course, since the work app doesn't work. The experience definitely had its challenges, and although I don't have a functioning app, I did push myself to read, study, and ponder. I had access to some great resources, but I also see that there's a need to sort through a lot of sources in order to find the really good ones. On some days, I was luckier than others because it was easier to find good sources on some days, while not so easy on other days. In terms of metacognition, the course has caused me to reflect on what I'd really like to do next year and what I should pursue. Because of the certification and app decision that I made, my goal next year is to prepare for 2 or 3 certifications. I definitely want to do Java certification, so I'll visit that exam. And so my goal is to complete it by the end of next year, but I'd really like to try to take it in June. The planning part of this course has helped me see that I need to map out a course of study for next year, and that breaking up my goal like that would make it a lot more likely to be conquered. As part of practice, I plan to write Java daily to help me prepare. In addition to working towards a Java certification, I'm going to look into preparing for the CCNA and CompTIA A+ exams. I know a board member who offered his help in preparing for the exams, so I'll take advantage of his generosity. Anyway, I appreciate the direction this class has given me. As I reflect on my courses at BYU Idaho Online, I think one of my suggestions would be to more strongly encourage students to do certifications so that when they graduate, they'll be armed with documents that show their qualifications. Classes are structured so that students can prepare, but just from my experience, some of us don't know how valuable certifications are. I, for one, didn't come into this major with any kind of field experience, and I think it would have been good for me to know, or any other student to know, that preparing for some kind of certification before leaving school. So anyway, thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity that I've had to learn and grow in spite of my ups and downs and with my decisions.